Our 10th wedding anniversary. I took my wife on a trip. Getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I noticed she was gone. From next door came her high-pitched cry. Original. Her grade school brother lives next door. I went to the door and asked. She showed no remorse. And I let my grade schooler go crazy with me. You're an old man. Unappealing. Not even physically. Can't compare with me. I've been serving her for 3 years. We are true love. Looking into my wife's cold eyes. I'm totally disappointed. Pack your bags and go. But after I left, she regretted it. Start of text. Like to remember to subscribe. 10th anniversary. I'll talk to Sophia ahead of time. Planning a trip abroad. It's also been 10 years of marriage. I went on my first trip with her. After Sophia's company went public. She's always busy. Every vacation is not a business trip. Just working overtime. For once, she said yes. I started preparing my travel plan a month in advance. The first stop is Paris, the city of romance. Just arrived at the hotel. Sophia said she had to go shopping. And they won't let me follow. It's not like we haven't been abroad before. There's nothing to worry about. To hear her say that. And I stopped insisting. But that night, I discovered a frightening truth. Because I was busy packing the night before. Plus a 5+ hour flight. I fell asleep almost as soon as I went to bed. When I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I realized Sophia, who was lying next to me, was gone. Only the phone was still on the pillow. I called out softly, "Darling." But there was no response. I kind of panicked. Subconsciously reach for your phone next to your bed. Sophia's phone never had a passcode for me. I'm not in the habit of checking my phone. After all, we've been married for 10 years. There's nothing to hide. What appears after unlocking is a completely different picture. Sophia's phone has 2 systems. I didn't see it before. This system except for some basic software. Just chat apps. Open chat software. It's full of hot, sexy faces. I was dumbfounded by the chat logs. Usually look so high and cold, wife. How open you are behind your back. I just feel cold all over. I'm breathing fast. I even raised my hand and rubbed my eyes. I thought I was dreaming. I click on chat at the top. The profile picture is of a young man. Showing off her young body in front of the mirror. Click on his moments. It's all about him and Sophia every day. Christmas Eve. Sophia will make pizza with me. In the video, Sophia smiles as she indulges in Christmas. Sophia accompanied me on a trip. There are mountains, water, and lovers. The caption shows the two embracing and kissing on a boat. Go through it one by one. My heart sank to the bottom. Original. Every vacation Sophia made an excuse to work overtime. I was dating other men. That's when I suddenly realized. The woman I'd been in love with for 10 years. So much slutty behind closed doors. Their latest chat was sent by the man. Urged Sophia to come quickly. He bought her sexy underwear. The photo is of a pair of black pajamas. But all the key parts are out there. And the room number he sent us was right next to ours. As if to help me prove it. I heard a loud voice coming from the next room. I sat motionless on the bed. Silently listening to the unspeakable sound next door. One's mind goes blank. Memories of the past intertwine with the harsh reality of the present. Submerged me like the tide. I can't breathe. Wait until the noise from next door dies down. I just realized. Get out your phone. Keep a screensaver of all the nasty chats. It's all evidence of her cheating. I can't pretend I didn't see it. The moment I put down my phone, I heard the door open. Sophia came in. There's still a flush on his face that's not going away. Saw me wake up. There was a flicker of panic in her eyes. Husband. You're awake. I stifled my anger. Pick up her phone. Sophia. Are you worthy of me? 10 years of our marriage. You did this. Did you really think about how I felt? In the face of my questioning, Sophia sat on the sofa and said nothing. I suddenly feel very tired. I don't even want to question it anymore. I feel like a useless loser right now. No matter how hard you struggle. Cannot escape the fate of failure. Suddenly, a rapid knock at the door broke the silence in the room. Maybe the waiter heard something. I got up to open the door. But it's not the waiter standing at the door. It's the little boy in the picture. I recognized it at the same time. His real identity is David, Sophia's former assistant. But then he quit for unknown reasons. Now it looks like he's being kept by his own boss. He was shirtless. Scratches on his chest and back. And the thick hickey on his neck. All explaining what just happened. I automatically closed the door. But David slammed the door open. Burst into the room. Take Sophia in your arms. Sophia, you're okay. Sophia was held in his arms. Half a minute later. Maybe it doesn't feel right. Gently push David away. What are you doing here? Hurry on. She finally spoke. But the purpose is to protect the man in front of you. Probably because I'm mad. What kind of damage to Sophia? David stepped in front of her. Keep Sophia behind you. Yelling at me with a look on his face. James. If you have anything to do with me. Come on, Sophia. The scene before me. I just find it incredibly ironic. A lover has the cheek to intrude on the feelings of others. I can't believe you're showing up in front of the Lord. This is what society has become. Embarrass her. You think too much. I looked at them both coldly. Waste one more second with you guys. I feel sick. David laughed. Chin slightly raised. A defiant look on his face. James. You don't look like a man. Sophia loves me. It's not that I think less of you. Look at yourself. You look like a middle-aged greasy man yourself. I don't know anything about romance. You're not gonna compare me with this. He held Sophia in his arms. The smile was creepy. Sophia said it. I have good physical strength. Can satisfy her. You can do that. An old man can have a good temper. At this time, I can't help but be angry. A girl being played with. Do you really think you're in love? Sophia is finally talking again. She took David's arm. James. Don't talk nonsense. He is too young to know better. What's your complaint? Come at me. Young and thoughtless. I sneer. What about you? Don't you know any better? You're a woman with a husband. How dare you do such a thing? A hint of guilt crossed Sophia's face. But it was only for an instant. I'm sorry for you. But I hope you understand. After all, you can't force a relationship. I don't love you anymore. Although I was prepared for it. But when I heard those words come out of her mouth, I can't help but feel a twinge in my heart. Sophia. Do you really have no sense of shame? I'm trying to awaken her conscience. But next to David's sneer. James is like a man. Sophia doesn't even love you anymore. I don't want you hanging around. If I were you. Turned around and walked away. Why are you still making a fool of yourself? The anger in my heart could no longer be suppressed. Leap forward. A slap in the arm. I hit him hard in that disgusting face. What a thick skin. I threw my hands away. Want to call again? But Sophia quickly stepped in front of David. You're sick, aren't you? Sophia cursed at me. A pretty face full of anger and cruelty. I raised my hand several times and slowly lowered it. I can't do it. You do what you want. I turned to go. But I didn't expect Sophia to give me a big push from behind. One of my feet is unsteady. Lean forward sharply. Out of balance. I hit the foot of the TV stand. With the warm liquid flowing down. I felt a burning pain in my forehead. I reached out and touched it. One's eyes turned red. And the person responsible for all this won't even look at me. Instead, I painstakingly helped David up. The tips of his fingers gently touched his swollen cheeks. Are you okay? Does it hurt? David grinned. He looked at me with a defiant face. You can see the look of a winner. I stood up and watched the two of them close. I just think it's funny. See me stand up. Sophia jumped in front of David. A look of anger. James. Don't go too far. I was wrong to cheat. But can you blame me? You're old and fat now. There's no mood in the bed. I've put up with you for years. Don't be ungrateful. Look at yourself. Look at David. What can you do better than him? She was hysterically accusing me. I don't care if it hurts me. I know Sophia meant what she said. But she forgot that her business failed. I'm the one who took out all my savings. That's what gave Sophia a chance to turn her life around. In this decade. For Sophia's company to go public. I work day and night. Irregular work and rest. It also causes me a lot of small ailments and pains. She's getting out of shape. For Sophia. I am willing. But it turned out to be the reason she attacked me. She seems to have completely forgotten what she said. Those sweet old days. And now it's a million knives. One by one in my heart. I took out a tissue and wiped the blood off my face. I know I must be a mess right now. I mean, I can't hide the smug look on David's face. David opening. James. Don't get too angry. Sophia, such a beautiful woman. You don't deserve it. Say something nasty. As you are now. What woman can see it? Don't talk about sex. Even kissing probably scares the hell out of people. Go to the gym sometime. Clean up after oneself. Sophia chimed in. You're right. James. I'm really sick of the way you look right now. To hear those cold words come out of the mouth of the person you love most. The last hope in my heart was gone. This is the person I used to love the most. And now it seems so strange. At this moment, I decided to let it go. Since you hate me so much, then get a divorce. I don't think Sophia thought I'd ask for a divorce. Pause for a moment. Then a cold snort. Divorce is okay. But you can't expect me to share much with you. She thinks I'm trying to cash in on the divorce. I shake my head. I don't want anything. Get a divorce. David from the side said oddly. James. Don't be sorry. Leave Sophia. You're gonna have to go live on the streets. Sophia earned all of her own money. It has nothing to do with you. I sneered. I didn't even bother to argue with David. The company is where it is today. I have to work my ass off to socialize. That's how you get all those projects. I don't want it. Sophia lifted her chin. Like you're feeling sorry for me. Speak from above. For the last few years' sake. I'll give you some money. Enough for the rest of your life. Don't say I'm unkind. I didn't answer her. He looked to the side of David, who was triumphant. Do you think she really loves you? David gave a sneer. Not worried at all. I've been with Sophia for 5 years. What we have is beyond the comprehension of an old man like you. Sophia said she was going to have a baby for me. He put his arms around Sophia. Laugh uncontrollably. Don't worry. James. I'll take care of Sophia. I didn't speak again. I hope David can laugh again. I have no desire to stay. Pack one's bags. Turn and walk. Walking the streets of a foreign land. With a wound on his head. I feel like a stray dog. Streets of Paris. The couples hugged each other tightly. There was a happy smile on his face. It looked so harsh. I went to a random clinic and patched it up. I got a text from Sophia about the transfer. 10 million. Take this money and go home and pack your things. Move out of the house. Don't bother me again. 10 million. It was the end of a 10-year relationship. I didn't pursue it. Choose to leave. Early the next morning. I bought my ticket home. Return home. What I see is both familiar and strange. You still know to come back. A sharp voice interrupted my thoughts. It's Sophia's mom. She was in a wheelchair. His face was full of discontent. After a car accident. She was paralyzed. I've been taking care of her at home for years. But she was mean. Very vicious. I don't know how to be grateful. On the contrary, he became more and more angry. Tell me what to do. Every day is all kinds of disgust. There's a bit of a problem. I just started yelling. She thinks I don't work like this. A man who just stays at home is a loser. It's a moth that feeds on her daughter. But it was Sophia who said she couldn't trust her mom. I took on the responsibility of taking care of her mother. It used to be so. It still is. Don't talk to me. She rushed up to me. Triangle eyes full of evil. Not a penny a day. Have the nerve to travel. Shame on you. The emotions I had been holding back for a long time finally burst out. Shut your fucking mouth. I stared at her fiercely. I'm only out for the day. Are you dying or something? Didn't you get a babysitter? Sophia's mom didn't seem to expect a sudden outburst from a son-in-law who had been weak for so long. As soon as I came to my senses, I was struggling to hit me. I just kicked her wheelchair back. Start again. Don't blame me for being rude. She's like crazy. Yelling at me. James, you piece of shit. Remember how you begged to marry my daughter. Don't you dare walk all over me. I'll have my daughter divorce you later. You piece of shit. I let you starve to death under a bridge. I shake my head. She's just like her selfish daughter. I forget that my resources were the only reason for the company to survive. I forget that I lost everything to get them where they are today. You're just like your cheating daughter. The dog ate his conscience. I don't have any more feelings. I told you everything about Sophia's affair. That daughter of yours is rotten. Got fucked up by other guys. You can rest assured. I won't go after your daughter's money anymore. I'll divorce her. Heard me scold her daughter. Sophia's mother blushed with anger. But when I heard I was getting a divorce, her face froze again. He shook his head contemptuously for a long time. Without my daughter. You're nothing. I'm tired of talking to her. Go inside, pack your bags, and leave. And so on. Sophia's mother came in a huff, pushing her wheelchair. Get your hands on my suitcase. Let me check. To save you from stealing from my family. I laughed angrily. Just throw her away. Let her scream and curse behind her. I didn't pay any attention. She just left. Just found a temporary hotel. Sophia's phone called. I didn't even think about it. Direct hang up. But she's persistent. After a dozen of them. I just picked up the phone. James. Are you crazy? Who gave you the nerve? Touch my mother. An angry voice came from the receiver. And David on the side didn't forget to stir things up. Exactly. James. You brought up the divorce. Now fight a woman. Are you still a man? I don't want to talk to them. Just turn the phone off. After so much. I just want to get some sleep right now. I don't want to worry about anything else. When I wake up again. It was early the next morning. 10 more messages on the phone. It's all from Sophia. It's an indictment of me without exception. Said I was irritating her mother. Out of the blue. There's also a verification message from David. Said he had something important to tell me. I clicked yes. I want to see what he has to say to me. Straight through. His message came through. James. I'm warning you. Better not try to get Sophia's attention. She's mine. You'd better not embarrass yourself. That's it. I sneer. Quick type reply. Feel at ease. A rotten woman. You're the only one who's gonna be a baby. David seemed in a hurry. Get me a voicemail right away. I'll just hang up. Set do not disturb. Just a few words of defiance. Let him break the guard. Young people are still far from the heart. Not long after. Sophia called again. Her tone was more cold. And full of impatience. I had the divorce papers drawn up. I need you to sign it sometime. Good. I didn't say no. And I don't want him to know where I live now. At noon the next day. I'll take a cab to Sophia's. But when I got to the door, I was stopped by David. It's been less than 2 days. Sophia couldn't wait to bring him home. Meet me. He doesn't look well. Come up and whisper threateningly. Sign the deal and get out. Leave Sophia alone. I sneer. I have said. I'm not in the habit of picking up rubbish. What are you worried about? You can't even pick up trash. David grunted unpleasantly cold. Nothing more to say. Can pass by when? And he slammed into me. I unconsciously tensed my body against it. But he fell back in a dramatic way. Then he sat down on the ground. It hasn't hit me yet. He just started pointing at my nose and swearing. James. I respect you as an elder. Speak kindly to you. Even if you don't appreciate it. You can't hit anyone. I'll call the cops on you. I sneered. A marriage-wrecking mistress told me about the law. Then you know. Marital infidelity. Break up a marriage. It's not a crime. David looks terrible. But remembering that I'm still playing the victim, he resisted the urge to stand up. Just lying on the ground like that. Yelling at me. As he wished. Sophia heard the noise and rushed out. To my little surprise. He didn't run and help David up. He was staring straight at me. The divorce papers are in there. Come on in. Sophia's eyes are a little mixed. Even with a little bit of perseverance. I suspect I was wrong. Next to David is also dumbfounded. Sophia never tried to help him up. I had to pretend to struggle to get up. I looked up over the door. Be clear in one's mind. Sophia's villa has cameras all over it. David just moved in. I don't think I'm familiar with it. Everything that was just released. Sophia should have seen it. After entering the villa, I signed the divorce papers. Whole course. Sophia kept her eyes on me. But he didn't say a word. Until I was ready to leave. Suddenly she spoke. Are you used to where you live now? What can I do for you? You can talk to me anytime. I frowned slightly. Feel a wave of nausea. I mean, it's already gone this far. What does she mean by all this? You make yourself look nostalgic. Don't bother you. I'm a grown man. If you're that busy, you better worry about your mother and your new husband. I gave her a cold look. Then he turned and walked toward the door without looking back. But Sophia caught up. You want me to drive you? Need not. I already ordered a cab myself. One more word feels like a waste of time. After divorce, I feel so much lighter. I got a visa. Start traveling around the world. To see things I've never seen before. I've been to the beach in Hawaii. I've also been to Venice, Italy. Watched the sunset in Los Angeles. Under the healing of beauty. I quickly put everything behind me. I even bought a small estate abroad. I found that when I let go of the past, when I stopped worrying about Sophia, life is getting better every day. I didn't just have to take care of her. And take care of her mother. There is no time to enjoy life. Life was so comfortable that I almost didn't want to go back. But someone still has to be present for this. Just didn't expect. Just got off the plane. I saw Sophia waiting outside early. With her abilities, it's easy to find my flight. We're getting a divorce anyway. I didn't resist meeting her too much. Sophia looks a lot worse for wear. More refined than before. I became a lot more casual. But the eyes were as cold as ever. Without feeling. The moment of meeting. She came over suddenly. Open your arms and embrace me. A look of surprise on his face. Seems to have completely forgotten the previous unpleasant. I took a step back. The message of no couldn't be more obvious. Sophia's face stiffened slightly. The corners of his mouth pulled out a smile. Where have you been all these days? I've been looking for you for ages. I sneered and shook my head. Didn't you tell me not to bother you? Slip one's mind. I was so cold. Sophia bit her lip. You look so pathetic. I know it was wrong. Without you these days. I just realized how much you mean to me. Mom's not well. The nanny we hired wasn't paying attention. And Mom says you're still the most comfortable. I almost laughed out loud. Talked together for a long time. It's just that I'm a good babysitter. Easy enough to use. That's why you came to me. I looked at her coldly. Not a stir in my heart. Sophia. We're divorced. You asked for the divorce papers. Why? You still want me to be your servant. I've done so much for you before. You don't cherish. Now you're pretending to be affectionate. I came back to get my divorce papers. Not to see you play. What nonsense. Maybe you should talk to a lawyer. Sophia shuddered. Reach out. Trying to grab my arm. I ducked again. She spoke with a shudder. James. I'm begging you to give me another chance. I'm gonna love you so much. I shook my head. I don't even want to talk to her. If that's all you have to say. Or shut up. I was just leaving. She suddenly shouted. I'm carrying our baby. I turned around a little surprised. What are you talking about? Sophia threw herself into my arms. His face was full of supplication. I'm pregnant with our baby. For the children's sake. Don't go away. I gave her a cold glance. Just push her away. He left a note at the courthouse and strode off. I went back to the house I rented before I left. A bit of a surprise. I can't believe David showed up. He brought a lot of people with him. All gangsters at first sight. I don't even want to open the door. And he just kicked the door down with an axe. I didn't get a chance to question it. He took the baseball bat from the man next to him. He swung and hit me in the body. I quickly got out of the way. Angry geology. What do you want to do? No breaking and entering. Dare to strike. I pulled out my phone as I spoke. But David pounced again. I grabbed the ashtray on the table. Hit him right in the face. He gave a scream. 2 big teeth came out of his mouth. Can't help it. There are too many of them. 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. In no time, I was held down by a bunch of people. I took a couple of hard knocks to the body. David covered his mouth. Stand up with a vicious face. A baseball bat hit me in the back. Shit. Don't you dare start a fight with me. He had a dangerous glint in his eye. I really suspect he tried to kill me for a second. Don't think Sophia is carrying your baby. You'll have a chance to step up. You think a baby will bring you back to being Sophia's husband? You're dreaming. I'll find a way to get rid of that baby. I worked so hard with her for so long. I don't know why she should have your baby. David has gone a little crazy. There was a grimace on his otherwise handsome face. Finish talking. He looked me up and down with a hostile look in his eyes. The intensity of malice is barely concealed. For ascendancy. You're really unscrupulous. I spoke coldly. But he was even more proud. Think big. You have to be ruthless. Just get Sophia pregnant with my baby. After that, all of Sophia's assets are mine. Finish talking. He poked me in the face with a baseball bat. This is just to teach you a lesson. Get your license and get out of here. Let me see you again. I'll break your legs. Finish talking. He's got a group of people ready to go. Just as I was getting ready, he suddenly turned around. Hit me on the head with a stick. Great pain hit. I felt like my head was spinning. I lost control of my body. David didn't get enough of a beating. He swung the bat at me like a maniac. My consciousness is fading. On the verge of a coma. I heard a noisy noise outside the door. Policeman. Nobody move. When I opened my eyes again, I'm already at the hospital. Just about to sit up. Cough. A sharp pain accompanied the dizziness. I had to give up. The nurse next to her was about to change her dressing. It's nice to see me awake. Get a doctor right away. You're hurt bad. The doctor showed me. David broke my right arm. And 2 ribs. That blow to the head gave me a concussion. Fortunately, the police came in time. There's a real risk of after effects. I was scared, too. I still underestimated the young man's madness. For ascendancy. He even tried to hit me. While I was talking to the doctor. Sophia is coming in. Her eyes were red. The moment he saw me, he cried at the window. Excuse me. James. I apologize for David. Please let it go. Write a letter of understanding. Let's bail him out. The child is still young. Can't live without dad. In a hurry. She finally told the truth. Realized something is wrong. She was in a hurry to explain. I just raised my hand to stop it. I'm not writing an apology. If you hit someone, there are consequences to bear. I knew the baby was fake. Before that, after all, Sophia and I haven't been married for a long time. It's like she said. That I have no mood. Sophia cried in front of my bed all day. I have no intention of letting go. Can only go disappointed. But with her abilities, there's still a way to keep David out of jail. Wait until the day of discharge. Sophia and I went to court to get our divorce papers. And then it was over 2 months. Then came the news that she and David were getting married. The wedding of the president of Thunder Corporation. Naturally, all eyes will be on you. After all, Sophia is quite famous in the area. Most of the media will be there that day to record the hot news. The internet is even more noisy. Most people are wishing the couple well. But think about it. Sophia has been very secretive about her personal information. Except for the parties. There are also some old employees of our company. Few people know that she is married and divorced. I watched the news and the invitation David had sent me. A tinge of evil came up in my heart. Since they're in such a hurry to get married, then I'll get them a wedding gift they'll never forget. In fact, divorced less than 10 days. I started collecting evidence. Wedding day. While everyone's happy, I got in there posing as a hotel worker. Soon the wedding began. Under the auspices of the master of ceremonies. Sophia and David walk into the meeting. Photos of the two men played on the big screen. No doubt the viewer does not envy their beautiful love. David also found someone to make up a pair of emotional experiences from school uniforms to wedding dresses. I couldn't help laughing. From an 8-year-old school uniform to a wedding dress. A childhood sweetheart. Finally, after 2 people of phony wedding poetry, it's time for the ring exchange. Right before David got down on one knee and held Sophia's hand, about to put the ring on her finger, I strode out from behind. And so on. The eyes of the crowd were immediately focused on me. Doubtful. Puzzled. The two on the stage. Sophia's eyes glowed with surprise and surprise. David, on the other hand, was sullen and vicious. What do you want to do? David came over swearing. If you raise your hand, push me. I snorted cold. Kick him right in the crotch. David let out a scream. Rolling around on the stage with my pants in my pants. Take this opportunity. I walked quickly to the console. I inserted the flash drive I had prepared. In the quizzical eyes of the MC, I reached out and grabbed his microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today as Mrs. Sophia's ex-husband. For their wedding. The audience was shocked. Sophia's ex-husband. Here he comes. Well done. The ex-husband gets the best part. Amid all the noise, I began to play the prepared photos. Mrs. Sophia and I have been married for 10 years. Just got divorced 2 months ago. While speaking, the big screen started showing bits and pieces of us together. And Sophia and the men. Chat logs, including David's. 5 years ago, Sophia had sex with this groom without telling me. And has remained so ever since. Even the groom in order to be able to succeed. I'm not afraid to have people threaten me. I opened a recording. This is the recording of the day David had me attacked. When I heard that David was planning to abort Sophia's baby. Sophia's eyes widened in shock. A look of disbelief. Mrs. Sophia had an affair in her marriage. And his personal life was extremely chaotic. No fewer than 20 people of the opposite sex had physical relationships with him. I continued. Take a good look. This is what you call a cold female CEO. Sophia looks pale. He looked at me with a begging face. Please don't. I didn't speak. Didn't even give her a look. She doesn't deserve it. David is in a hurry. Don't care about the pain in the lower body. Yelling at the security guard. Let them throw me out. But now the scene is a mess. Security couldn't get anywhere near it. The journalists went crazy. I just want to put it in David's mouth. The strobe lights went on and on. A reporter even asked me if I had the original. A mistress. A prostitute. It's a good match. David screamed and ran at me. You lie. It's all fake. I'll just release the security footage. It's a very clear record of what happened that day after David came to the door. The crowd looked at the picture. Also began to blame. Are they all so arrogant now? I can't believe he knocked on the door. Trying to get ahead. It turns out to be to seize other people's property. It's disgusting. Finally, the high-profile wedding was completely debased into a giant melon dinner party. The Thunder Company and Sophia herself are well known. At the same time, the stock price fell by the limit. She herself received numerous harassing messages. A lot of people want to get a taste of this cold woman CEO. Others ran to the door of the company and waited. Just to see her. Ask the price in person. Again, the police intervened. Get David out of here. Look into him for breaking and entering an aggravated assault. After a week of daily limit losses, Sophia couldn't take it anymore. He called me. James. I beg you. I was wondering if you could help me out for old time's sake. I sneer. What do you want me to do? She thought I said yes. Speak quickly and excitedly. As long as you clear it up at the press conference. Say you made a mistake. That you had people make up all those scandals. I beg you. Go on like this. The company is really going under. You had a hand in this, too. Do you really want to watch her ruin it? It's about this time. I can't believe Sophia wants me to take the blame. Do I look that cheap? And yet, she still doesn't understand one thing. It's because of me that Thunder Corporation is what it is. Without me, she's probably still in the rental room eating cold pasta. Sophia, you sure know how to ask for things. Push me out. Let me get chewed out by the press. To help you and your company. Don't you think what you're saying is funny? Sophia choked. I go on. And don't you forget. Most of your projects are supported by my old clients. Without me. What the hell are you? I've been told. Working with a dirty woman like you who can fuck anyone. Feel sick. I can't force someone to cooperate with you. My tone was flat and ironic. I spent a lot of time and energy on the Thunder Company. And a lot of work. But Sophia didn't appreciate it at all. And cheated again and again. Test my boundaries again and again. And now she has the nerve to beg me. Shame on you. Sophia still wouldn't give up. Begging on the phone. James. I beg you. As long as you help me. I'll do anything. I can give you a baby. I cut her right off. Sophia. You take yourself too seriously. I don't need you. You figure it out. I just hung up the phone. Block all of Sophia's contacts. Then I got on a plane and went to a little manor abroad. On the estate. I grow my own order. I draw designs when I'm free. Although the income is not high. But it's enough to live on. The next time I heard from Sophia was on the national news. The Thunder Company pulled out because of a large number of investors. And the CEO scandal. After holding on for more than half a year, it was completely declared bankrupt. And a lot of debt. Sophia sold the villa. Sold the limo. But it's not enough. She lived a life of evasion. He was even taken to the club to pay off his debts. But it's only been a few months. Sophia suffered a massive miscarriage and bleeding due to her intense work. He died on the operating table. Doctors are also said to have found that she has a venereal disease. I don't know how many people it infected. And her mother. That mean old lady. And because there's no one to take care of it. Plus it's not easy to move. He was found starving to death at home. As for David. I only spent half a month in jail. But he's still dead when he gets out. To seduce a married man. Turns out the woman's husband is a gangster. Just have his dick cut off. And broke his leg. To some punk who likes men. Imagine the consequences. It was a moment of full disclosure. I turn off the news. Walk to the gym on the roof. I started exercising. Start paying attention to maintenance. One by one, the bad guys have left this world. I have nothing to worry about. I have my own life.